So this young lady comes into my work last night. It was after 7. It was dark outside. Young mixed black, Puerto Rican mixed Hispanic girl with a kid, probably like 5 years old. Really nice girl. She's comes in and she goes to the guy that that I think took the money out of my drawer. He's my supervisor. And she goes, "You got something that I can get in my car with that, like my something happened." I only overheard bits and pieces because I was working at a register, so I really couldn't overhear their whole thing. And I just heard him go, "No, we don't have anything like that." And I said, "What?" I said, "Bro, there's tons of stuff back there that somebody could get in their car and get their keys." And she's like, "She needs to pry the door panel off inside her car to get the window back up." And I go, "Okay." And I'm just thinking in my head. And they had some kind of conversation. I only overheard part of his bullshit. And he just said, "Whatever, da-da-da-da," and gave her like some bullshit attitude. And she's crying, she's moving stuff into a storage place and da-da-da-da. I think she was pregnant, and she, regardless, it's a woman. Do you know what I mean? Like, so she goes, Isn't anybody gonna help me here?" And I'm at a register, and he goes, "No." He's like, "I'm not breaking into your car." She's like, "I'm not asking you to break in your car." And she goes, "Is that your boss?" And I said, "Well, he's my supervisor." And she goes, "Yeah, he should be fired," right in front of a bunch of people. And I was like, I didn't say anything. So I said, "What's your situation?" And I'm, talking to somebody, da-da-da-da-da, and I go, "Let me get a backup person up here to come. This lady, etc., etc." They send another guy up. He's useless too. Then I call, and the guy's like, then I call another guy's like, "Yeah, well, we're not going to be able to get." I go, "I just need somebody to come up here so I can just get this remedied in about 4 minutes instead of this. This has been 15 minutes already, too long." Do you know what I mean? Like, what the fuck are you guys doing? I was so disgusted. I wanted to slap I really came this close to spitting in my boss's face. You know what I mean? Like, I came like this close. I was so pissed off. And when she said, "Is anybody going to help me?" I was frozen in place. He came and stood next to me and started doing his job, right? And helping a customer. And she's just looking at me, and there's no one else in a uniform. And I just said, "Give me a minute," So I did what I did. So I go outside, she's crying. I said, "Listen, here's the situation, okay? Your window fell in behind your car thing. It's nighttime. You don't have a flashlight. You don't have any tools. You don't, you don't want to be taking this shit apart right now, right here. Let's do this. Let's get some plastic bags." She's like, "What if the cops pull me over?" I go, "Well, it's better that the cops pull you over than you stay here in this parking lot with your daughter and you by yourself at night with all the weirdos that walk in and out of here." Do you know what I mean? So she's like, "Yeah." And I said, "Just do it in the daylight. Watch a YouTube video or find somebody. This doesn't, you just got done moving, you're doing this, you're doing that. Just put a Band-Aid on it for right now and call it a day." And I go, "We have these things that pry off the plastic part of your door, and you can look in there and slide it up, or whatever." I'm just saying, I know that's beyond probably my technical abilities, or I would volunteer to do it. I gave her a hug, and she's crying, and da-da-da-da-da. And I just came in the store, and it was like everybody was like mad at me because I don't even feel like I went above and beyond anything. You know what I mean? It was just a natural. That's what you do, I mean, if it was a guy, I would have said, "Bro, just go on Google and look it up." I don't know. I mean, but it's a woman by herself with a child. It's dark outside. It's getting a little rainy. The weather is what it is. Regardless, like, what a fucking piece of shit these people are at this job. I'm like, it took every ounce of self-control that I had. I really just wanted to grab this dude and I just wanted to put my hands on him. You know what I mean? I didn't say nothing. I didn't break character. I didn't lose my composure. We sent her on her way. She bought the things. And then everybody's like, oh, I would have just, you know. I said, nobody did anything. What are you guys talking about? It was aisle 6, grab them things. Here's the situation. Oh, nobody wants to go outside for 2 seconds and look at her car. It's like, dude, get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? Like, it's a female, 1, with a child, 2, 3. I shouldn't even have to say any of that. You know, I've had 4 complaints from customers about this dude, and they just started an investigation about the money that's missing from my register and another coworker's register that he was both working that night. And I just said, I'm not going to get, you know, and then my supervisor, my head boss, is lacking what they call managerial courage. He acts like he has no idea about any of this stuff going on and this, that, and the other thing. And it's like, dude, you've overheard this dude talking to customers like they're assholes. Like, legitimately, I had a customer walk up to me with a hat that said Vietnam veteran on it, and he goes, yeah, I don't know if that guy's in a bad mood. And, you know, and another customer said right next to him in front of me, no, that's just how that guy is. He's just an asshole. And it's like, there's no way that you could work with him for 14 months like my boss has and not known. He's just a coward for not acting or not nipping that. You know, he just don't have any authority, and he's not respected as the boss, obviously. Do you know what I mean? Because I would just say, yo, listen, this isn't going to fly. I'd write you up or whatever after a couple times, you know what I mean? And by allowing it, you're just as guilty as participating in it, you know? So it's just crazy to think like how worthless people are. You know what I mean? Like, how worthless are you as a fucking human being, let alone a male? You know, you're supposed to be a man, and you're going to give a woman with a kid like some fucking attitude? You know what I mean? You're going to give a woman with a kid who's upset, you know, and she's crying, you know what I mean, about her situation, and you have not 1 ounce of compassion or anything. Well, I can tell you this. When your time comes, no one's going to have compassion for you or your situation. Or your situation, you little nerd.